How is it going? You're good? Right. This is the first video on the Coffeewinks channel, so welcome to it. Thank you very much to whoever's watching. And I just wanted to introduce you to Andrea Pettinari. We had a really nice conversation. And the first bit, we talk about the situation in Italy with coronavirus. And on the second bit, which is most of the interview, we talk about coffee and how the coffee is going to be after that's his belief, what he thinks that the coffee is going to be after the coronavirus, and how to get around it, how to try to improve it. And yeah, hope you enjoy it. And by the way, wherever you are, hope you're safe, hope you're following the rules, and thank you very much to all the health care system for everything that is doing, all the workers. Thank you very much. Wish you the best. And now let's enjoy the video. Hello, good morning, Andrea. How is it going?
Hello, all good, fine, thank you. Hi,
Good.
everyone.
Good to see you. Good to see you. So, how first and everything? How is your family?
Everyone is pretty fine, thank you. What about yours?
Yeah, they are all good. They are all good. I had to move to Spain just to be close to them, but
Great.
it's all good. We can't complain. Well, I want to introduce to everyone who is Andrea. Most of you know already, but Andrea basically is one of the best baristas that you're gonna put on front of your face. He's the owner of Caffe Dell'Arte, which is a specialty coffee shop in Cagliari, in Sardinia. And yeah, he's been traveling around the world. He's been learning from many baristas, many coffee roasters, and basically that's who Andrea is. So, Andrea, could you tell us what's the situation in Italy at the moment with coronavirus?
At the moment, pretty much, it isn't way. So that means that most of the shops and most of the factories are closed down, and we got open just the essentials, so grocery shops and pharmacies and doctors are working 24 hours per day. But apart from that, everything is pretty much shut down. So
Wow.
no coffee shops open, no restaurants, no nothing that is not essential for human lives. So everyone is pretty much locked home, and we're trying to defeat this damn virus, trying to avoid infections. And as long as you stay home, as much as you stay home, you increase the possibility to avoid spreading the virus. And that's what Italy is doing right now. So if some kind of activity is not essential for the human life, so apart from food, medicine, everything is locked and shut down.
Right. And I've been looking at the news the last few days. Today is 25th of March of 2020. You've been, the last 3 days, you've been having less deaths and less infections, which means that most likely the curve is gonna start to go down, which is a good news after a couple of weeks of just deaths. So obviously we send out our condolations to all the families and people that died, but I mean, it looks like it's gonna start to get better soon, right?
Yeah, to be fairly honest, I'm not an expert about virus and something like that. I can just base my impressions of what I see on datas. And as you told, the data seems to be positive. In the last 3 days, we had less infections and less deaths, but that doesn't mean we are solving the situation.
For sure, no.
It's just something that makes us hope for the best, but we're not sure. To be honest, we are facing a very, it's quite hard to describe what we live in at the moment, because we are we are facing this virus even more than China did.
Mm-hmm.
And we are the most infected, and the worst situation is in Lombardia, in the north of Italy. And well, we really hope we can manage to get the infection go down to zero as they did in China in the last 2 days. But we really don't know what's going to happen. We can just do our best. And, I hope that people here in Italy will try to stick to the
rules
and stay home, because there are many people, not only in Italy, but all around the world. I'm seeing them via internet, Instagram, and social media in general. Even if the government tell them, stay home, stay safe, get out only for shop
many people
groceries
don't.
and something like that, they go out, they invent every kind of excuse to go out.
Very
and
bad.
This is not something that is, socially acceptable.
Not at all.
Because, okay, you can be a 30-year-old guy which is perfectly healthy, and you can get the virus without even noticing it. But then maybe you go find your grandmother, your grandfather, or even someone else. You don't know what kind of disease he can have.
For sure.
And you can threaten their life in a very severe way. And trust me, I know what I'm talking about, because a close friend of mine just died for coronavirus.
I'm so sorry for that, man.
What it looks like.
For sure. Well, sorry for all of that. I just hope the stuff get better. And in Spain here, we are pretty bad as well. So, and the world is going to get worse as well. So I just hope the stuff start to get better for the good of everyone. Let's jump without trying to get to take off the how important this is to people. Let's jump into coffee if you're okay with it.
Okay.
And yeah, you had to close your coffee shop. You had to close Caffe Dell'Arte, right?
Yeah, as everyone else, yes.
Yeah. So just to put some numbers and just to put the people how important the coffee is in Italy. In Italy, there is around 180,000 coffee shops, which is incredible. And but of these 180,000, only 242 are specialty coffee shops, and most of them are registered in Lombardia, Veneto, Emilia-Romagna, Toscana, and Piemonte, which are the regions that are most affected by coronavirus. How long do you think you're going to have your coffee shop closed for?
Well, at the moment, the red line is on April the 3rd.
Right.
So basically, we have the lockdown by the government until the 3rd of April included. So if everything goes well, but we don't even know right now, it's just a guideline. On the 4th, we should be able to open again.
Right.
But to be able to open again, we need to have a lot of circumstances got together. So infections has to go very, very low, and death as well. But there are new laws that are in
the government, the parliament,
day by day by the government.
Okay.
Yeah. And every day there's a new decree from the government. So we don't even know what's going to happen. We're living literally day by day at the moment.
Wow. And when everything is over, let's try to be positive. When everything is over and we get rid of this virus and everything, what's your expectation? Like, what do you expect from your customer? What do you expect from, like, are you planning to, I don't know, maybe reducing the prices, trying, because obviously the economy in Italy, the personal economy, the economy of us, of the people, not just the country, is going to go down, obviously. So maybe people are going to start to prioritize. What's your plan? What's your expectation?
Well, the situation is not the best, so I'm trying to be as positive as I can. So what I hope and what I think is going to happen when all this is going to finish, people, everyone is going to be less rich than it was before. Of course, because we're going to spend money to pay bills, to pay rent, even if we're not working at the moment. But I think, especially in Italy, where people are so used to live together, to go out and be social human beings, I think we're gonna try to get back to that, community situations.
Right.
And I hope and I think the consumption of groceries and just going out to the restaurant, going out to the coffee shop, it's gonna have a little increase because people will look for normality.
Right. Plus, you got the summer season coming, right? In summer season in Sardinia is a really big thing.
We got the summer season. Yeah, but for example, I'm really scared about the summer. The summer season in Sardinia this year because we rely a lot on tourism, and I think this situation is gonna penalize us because not so many people want to travel right now, and I understand it, of course. So we don't even know. But what I will try to do, and what I think people will try to do, is getting back. In this how to say, in this globalized world, we were used to buy products from all over the world without even noticing where the products came from.
Right.
I think after this situation, people's gonna start to buy again local.
Right.
Shopping groceries directly from the farmer, which is 5 kilometers away, or going to the local restaurant, and even the shops. And this is something that we are starting to do here in Cagliari, for example, with some friend of mine. They're gonna start help each other and create communities with a very strict bondage in order to help the economy, local economies, go up again, and reflection, the whole economy of the nation and of the world is going to increase again. This is what I think.
Right. So overall, this could start to be a good thing in a way for small owners, coffee shops owners. That's a good thing. So where you get your coffee from? Like, have you spoke with your roastery, and did you have any kind of conversations about what the future is going to be like?
Yeah, we had conversation. We work with a lot of roasteries.
Right.
The biggest roastery we work with is a local roastery, which is called Mocadomus.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a conversation with them. And of course, everything is stopped at the moment. They're not roasting coffee at all because they do only didn't do
commercial
roasting for home consumption or something like that. They do roast only for coffee shops.
Right.
So coffee shops are closed, so they're not roasting. And even with the smaller roastery we work with, and everyone is in the same opinion, and that we don't even know what's gonna happen, but we don't have to make a deal on quality. Quality is the thing we're gonna focus on, and something we cannot have any kind of deal with. So let's keep quality at the highest standard as possible, and do something else to increase the speed of the economy.
Right. Well, I'm glad you are trying to you're doing your best to keep the quality, which is something that nobody wants to miss out on this crisis coming over. Now let's jump to the world if you are happy to. I'm just gonna do a little briefing of what is happening. So most of Europe is in lockdown. It's on lockdown, most of Europe. It's true that some places like the UK and other countries have takeaway available on coffee shops, but that reduced the amount of coffee consumed in a massive amount. So we got places like Norway, Netherlands, Belgium, which are the countries where the most coffee per capita is consumed around the world. Australia is on lockdown as well. Most of the non-key businesses are closed, and Australia, as we all know, is the biggest specialty coffee buyer in the world. To jump to the stocks, to the markets, Starbucks, Coca-Cola, Suntory Beverage, Mondelez, Luckin Coffee, which is a Chinese company that has taken over from Starbucks in the last 2 years. They are all losing money constantly, and obviously this won't affect straight away the farmers, but it will next year because they finish with the harvest, most of them. But obviously for the next harvest, that's going to be pretty deep. It's going to be quite complicated. So obviously neither you or me are specialists on farming. We don't know that much. But do you know about coffee roastery? You know about coffee shops? What do you think that from the roastery people can, what the coffee roastery owners can do, trying to do something good for the crisis that is coming over? What do you think that the roasteries can do?
Yeah, I think on this side we need to split between commodity coffee and specialty coffee.
Right.
We need to split our speech because if you talk about commodity coffee, so just the commercial coffee, there is not that much we can do because unfortunately the commodity coffee is regulated by different rules.
Absolutely.
We've got big companies that do they do operate in very different ways that we do on specialty coffee.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know the farmers. They don't treat the farmers the same way the specialty coffee industry does.
Not at all.
I think it's going to be a very threatening situation for commodity farmers, which are kind of 95% of the coffee farmers in the world, because of course we already know the coffee, when it's commodity coffee, it's not something that's going to make you rich if you are a farmer. But I think that from next year, they're going to see the price of their coffees reduced by at least 30%.
Well, the coffee was already on the lowest ever in the history. Even if coffee is the most consumed ever, is in the lowest ever. For the farmers, I'm saying. The farmers are getting...
Until this lowest is not zero, it can even go down.
Well, yeah, for sure. But I'm saying, it's true that they are different markets, okay? It's true that specialty coffee and commercial coffee, they are different markets. But in the end, isn't true that if one market is affected, the other one will be affected too?
I'm not sure at all.
Okay.
I'm not sure at all because, you know better than me that specialty coffee doesn't follow the stock market.
Mm-hmm.
But specialty coffee goes on the auctions. So there's a different system that regulates the price of specialty coffee and commodity coffee.
Because it could be, for me, and I'm not a specialist on this, but for me, I can see, because I've been working in the UK around, I've been working in a couple of coffee roasters, and I've been seeing a lot of coffee roasters, and many of those specialty coffee roasters, I'm not gonna lie, they are there for money, not just for a specialty. And I could see some people after the crisis, because they lost a lot of money on their businesses, I could see them saying, hey, instead of buying this specialty, I'm gonna go back to the commercial because I can allow myself to be paying this price. So this is where I can see the problem happening. This is where I could see some roasteries jumping, Now
I get you. Okay. Yeah, of course it's something that's, we need to take into account these, and it's actually something that is going to happen. And even worse, I think some specialty coffee roasters can switch to commodity coffee, but still trying to sell it as a specialty.
Oh yeah, for sure. I've seen that.
Oh well, me as well, many times. But I think as roasters and baristas, talking just about specialty coffee, we need to increase our effort into making the customers, to let them know where coffee comes from.
Absolutely.
Who are the farmers, what they do, in order to, not to compete, but to inform them that there are so many processes, before they cup of joe. And I think that this is the only way we can teach people how to buy coffee. I think that it's something similar to the to the biological market. People in the last 5-10 years started to buy more biological things and going local. Of course, if you're in Europe, you can't go local for the coffee.
Of course. No.
It has to be farmed in Africa, in South America, Central America, or Asia.
But you can go to a local roaster.
You can go to a local roaster and make yourself sure that the roaster knows exactly who is paying for the coffee and how much the farmer has been paid for that coffee. Because if we quick example. I had many customers in the first time we switched to specialty coffee in our coffee shop that didn't know coffee was a plant.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know coffee is a plant.
At all.
So if you don't know coffee is a plant, you never put yourself in that situation of thinking about, okay, who's farming this plant?
Yeah,
Who
for
farmed
sure.
this? Where does this coffee come from?
For sure,
But
for sure.
I know that every time, and I think the barista had to be in a red line to explain this to customer. We are kind of the first soldier, the last soldiers to fight against the slavery and the problem in the coffee industry. Every time I explain a customer what's the situation of the farmers, of the commodity farmers, why some of them try to switch to specialty coffee, I opened their mind, and a new world has been displayed for them. And I think if every single barista in the world could inform a single person every week, we're going to solve the problem in no time.
Right. So would you say that from the roasteries, one of the key trying to help the future of the industry as well, because this is not just about the day by day. We are talking on 10 years period. We are talking on 20, on 50, and on generations of coffee. Will you say that the key for the coffee roasters will be direct trade and on a specialty coffee? And for the baristas, the communication and trying to show customers how the coffee is done and where it comes from and how these people are living. Do you think that that's the key?
Yeah, I think that's the key. Because, for example, as a barista, being in a community of baristas, so many times I heard people talking about specialty coffee just in terms of flavors and taste. Okay, of course, specialty coffee tastes way better than commodity coffee. But taste and flavors are not the thing that make a specialty coffee special.
Absolutely.
A specialty coffee is special because of direct trade, because of communication, and because of all of the process that went from the bean, from the plant straight to the cup. And the social part of specialty coffee is what makes specialty coffee very special.
I agree. That was absolutely right. That was absolutely right. So what do you think the customers? Because we talk about what the roasteries can do. We talked about obviously what the coffee shops can do, buying local. What the customers, what a person that day by day wakes up. Because now, okay, we can try to believe and try to think of a perfect world where everybody tries to buy a specialty, but that's not the reality. The reality is that many people after this crisis will have less money than what they had before. And obviously, I kind of understand if you are someone that is earning, let's say, 800, 900, 1,000 euros in pounds, 1,000 pounds, whatever, in dollars, $1,000. I kind of understand that if you have family and this and that, you when it comes to get a coffee, you're like, hey, if I can get a cheaper coffee, for these kind of customers that they are struggling month by month. What do you want to say to these people? Because we already know that there is a market that only want to drink a specialty. But what you want to say to the other market? What you want to say to the market that are not into specialty yet?
Well, it's kind of a tough question because, as you said before, there are people that are earning not that much and they need to make strict calculations every day because they have families. To be fairly honest, I know many people like them, and I don't feel right in telling them, okay, no, you have to switch to specialty, you have to switch to micro bakery or nano bakery, and buy your meat from grass feed, the free range. Okay, that would be great, but there are people that just cannot afford that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a slow process. It's a slow process. Sometimes just sticking to coffee, we should try to to let them taste something, even for free sometimes.
Right.
I do it usually. People that buy just regular coffee, I let them try a specialty coffee for free. Sometimes I give them a free bag of coffee, just to let them try the difference, and they gonna choose. But I don't think we can. We have the how to say. We are allowed to tell them what to do, because that's not fair. What I can tell them is try to stick to your local communities.
Right.
Because, for example, okay, if you go to the supermarket to buy bread, make just an industrial loaf of bread, you're gonna pay 89 cents for that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what are you eating? You're eating crap.
No, yeah, that's true.
Okay.
Absolutely.
You can go to your local bakery. You can have for example, a sourdough bread, which is healthier, but that's not the point. First of all, that bread is gonna last for 10 days. You're gonna pay more for that bread, but you're helping your own economy. You are creating a community with your baker. And let's say you work in the post office, and that baker one day is gonna come to the post office, making the post office not to die, and you will still have your workplace, and you're creating that like circle, and everyone is helping each other in the community. I'm not telling everyone to buy the most expensive product that they can, because I know everyone has to make his own maths. But if you, as a customer, can start buy more locally from, especially in Italy, damn, we have, I think 95% of Italian companies are family businesses.
Yeah.
And if you can support your businesses, the businesses will support you.
Absolutely.
That's what I think the way to get out of the big crisis and start again to be human instead of being, people who buy.
Right, so to do a little briefing to put everything on point, let's say roasteries, their job would be to start to do more direct trade instead of trying to make the easy job, try to go for it and try to change from every roaster in the world, not just the one that were already in specialty, but no, the ones that weren't and they want to be now. They got the choice now to say, well, now it's time to help the world. It's not just time to make money. It's time to make money and help the world, which I think every business should be like that anyway. From the coffee shops, obviously, coffee shops buying from specialty coffee roasters and local coffee roasters. From the baristas in the coffee shops, they need to do a big job. I think baristas are the main key on this. Because if baristas are not communicating properly with the customer all day and telling them, and like you said, giving free coffee sometimes, finding a customer in the street and say, hey, do you go to Costa? Do you go to Starbucks? Well, come here. I'm going to show you how a coffee is like. And I think that's something that could be as well. And from the customers, you said about after this crisis, you hope and you expect people to start to buy local again, which that could be a step to help the coffee in the end. Because if people start to appreciate local, they will appreciate local coffee as well. Well, that's good news. That's good news for all of us. So yeah, man. Well, I think we're gonna let it here. We're gonna leave it here. It was a lovely conversation. I'm glad you're good. Good to see you. It's been a long time from last time I saw that little pretty face. And yeah, man, we are in touch. We're gonna have more conversations. And please keep us updated of what's going on with the coffee in Italy and any ideas that you have for other countries. And wish you the best. Hope coronavirus is over soon. And I catch you soon, my man. If you enjoyed the video, here, follow us both. If you want to get more content, please leave your comment below with any kind of feedback that you want to give us. We are new into this, so welcome to give us any feedback. And anyone that is interested to do an interview, let me know and we can maybe work on it. Have a lovely day and please stay at home. Yeah.